Hey, I'm Eric. I'm the creator behind the vlogging cycling channel Spindat, and today we're talking about how to ride in clipless pedals.
Baby, you're the one for me. Baby, you are meant for me. I'm madly in love with you.
Now, if you're just beginning your journey into learning about the differences of clipless pedals and getting rid of something like these that probably came with your bike, there's a good chance that you've been learning the difference between a mountain bike pedal and a road pedal. Each kind of have their advantage. A road pedal uses a larger cleat like this to spread the load around on your foot a little bit more, which decreases hot spots on your foot, which is nice if you're going to be on your bike for a really long time. However, this design doesn't exactly make for a great walking shoe. You're going to want to spend all your time on the bike with these on. A mountain pedal uses a smaller metal cleat that a lot of times is actually recessed into the shoe, which makes walking a lot easier. It is smaller, and I have heard the odd person complain that it feels like it's point loading your foot. Me personally, never really had that issue. Maybe I'm just lucky. If you're looking for some guidance on which shoes to get, if you're going to be riding a bike like the Vantage RX-1, an adventure bike, you're probably better off with a pair of shoes that are going to allow you to do some walking. Now, whichever pedals you decide to go with, whether it's mountain bike or road, there's going to be two new unique problems that you're going to have to get used to. The first of which, of course, is getting into the pedal. The biggest reason why is because you're just not used to where your cleat is based on where your foot is, and well, you've probably never done it before. When it comes to getting it right, there's not really a better substitute for just a bunch of practice, but a couple tips that I always use is try and stick your toe in first and push down. What you're trying to do is hook the front of the cleat into here and then push the back of the cleat into here. This is where the spring is, that's why it clicks in. Trust me when I say I know it's frustrating. I've been there. I remember the first time I tried to hop onto a bike and just place my feet into mountain bike cleats like there was no problem. And well, there was a problem because I didn't know what I was doing. But I promise, just eventually becomes second nature. Just know that it will be frustrating, but I promise you, you will get used to it. Even in the worst of times when you think that that pedal is just never going to accept the cleat. You might not believe me yet, but the minute you get both of your feet in the pedals and you experience that added efficiency, short punchy hills like this one won't render you to walking anymore. And without even putting a whole lot of thought into changing your riding style, you're a better rider and you're up stuff that, well, you were having a hard time with before. And really, once you get the hang of that, a lot of the frustration goes away. And that frustration will get replaced with the next unique problem that comes along with riding in a clipless shoe. And you know, that's the fear of not being able to unclip when you come to a stop. As a matter of fact, this is probably the biggest thing that people are afraid of when it comes to a clipless pedal. Which is funny because it's actually easier to get out of it than it is to get in. I don't really know why it's a big problem for a lot of people. I'm kind of thinking it's a mind over matter thing. Getting out of the pedal isn't overly complicated. You just twist your foot. I can't help but feel like it's mostly the fear of falling over that is the biggest hindrance in people being able to take their feet out of the pedals when they come to a stop. So my suggestion is always, always, always go and practice your first dismounts. It's in a big football field like this. It's a nice soft ground to land on, and it'll kind of give you an idea how much it doesn't hurt that much to crash. To summarize, don't let the frustration of trying to get your feet in the first maybe 100 times win. Give your muscle memory a chance to learn the position it needs to be in to get your foot into the pedal every single time. And two, definitely practice your unclipping in the real world. Just try and find some soft ground to land on if you can't get your foot out and you do fall. you'll find yourself a lot more comfortable getting out of a clipless pedal in the real world on a moving bike than you will on, say, a stationary spin bike or something in a turbo trainer. There's just all those added variables you have to deal with, like the fear of getting hurt.
I never let you go.
As you get used to riding in clipless pedals and you're getting in and out of them like it's nobody's business, your attention kind of starts to turn to the next very hotly debated subject in the world of cycling, on the subject of clipless pedals. This is a really good, long, kind of difficult climb on a dirt road, and I just thought it was a cool spot to come to ride a bike with clipless pedals. Because, you know, it's easier to ride up a hill with clipless pedals than it is to try and ride up one with flat pedals. Yes, as you start to take on fun, punchy climbs like that on rough, loose terrain, you just might find yourself in the middle of the hotly contested and debated subject of pedal stroke. I felt it very important to add this topic to the subject of how to ride with clipless pedals, because there's a lot of information out there. Some people will swear that if you're not riding in your clipless shoes like you're trying to scrape some mud off the bottom of your foot, then you're just not doing it right. And then you might have other people who say if you're not dropping your heel and pulling up as hard as you can on the upstroke, then how is it any different than riding around in a flat pedal? There are some that swear by pointing your toes down like a ballerina. And of course, you can't forget the very vocal bunch who just want you to be riding at a higher cadence. That is, spinning your legs faster than maybe what you're used to. It's easy to get confused and turned around by all these different methods and just have yourself wondering, what is the proper way to pedal a bike? And thankfully you are watching the right video, because there is a correct answer. It's... I'm just kidding. Pedal your bike the way that feels comfortable. You've gained a ton of efficiency by riding in a pedal that clips you in already. Just find the pedal stroke that you like the most and don't worry about what other people tell you. There's my best guidance on how to get started riding a set of clipless pedals. I know it doesn't seem like there's a lot to it, and well, there just kind of isn't. There's no substitution for doing a bunch of practice. There's no substitution for just trying it. I do hope that this video was at least somewhat motivational for you to want to try riding a clipless shoe, or maybe hopefully like clarified or maybe even confirm some of the information that you've already researched. If this happens to be your first spot for finding information on riding in clipless shoes and pedals, then just stop here. Don't read anymore. Don't psych yourself out. Go get a pair. Try it. You don't know who I am, but you can trust me when I say you can do it.